International travel, the arts, the beats, the pops, the dance, the sights, the this, the that, and all the dances that go into international travel. Have you done international travel before? Or you just been around where you come from? Boy, I just thought to share with us what it can be like to travel internationally. So it's not child's play, I must say. It's really like a school where people learn, you know, to just be able to carry themselves, move around, and just know what they should do, you know, because it's not your normal in-town travel or interstate travel. I mean, like you're practically flying over and across the Atlantic and every damn thing. So it's something that people should really be aware of, you know, and prepare their minds if ever you're gonna embark on international travel. It's a hurdle, it's a hurdle. And also having traveled 5 times, you know, from the Mediterranean, we've just been around East Africa, Europe, the United States, and all that. It's been a school of sorts for me. Okay? So this past 2 days I was engaging in such a hurdle. So these are still my stuffs packed up around. Not yet in my final destination. Just chilling somewhere. Hopefully in a day or two I should be heading back. So this is what it means, like one carrying all of this kind of suitcases and moving around. You know, it can be frustrating. Sometimes you say, oh, when is this journey gonna be over? Let me find myself where I should, you know. So what's one thing about international travel? First of all, you have to get your tickets. And getting tickets, say online, if you can't access it or just go with the flow, you have to make calls and then they schedule the flight, you get your ticket, they send you an itinerary. You know, you continue to book out for your trip and then you pack. You know, I just showed you some suitcases, 6 or 7 suitcases one has to pack to be on the go. You know, finally the day comes, you get to the airport. For international travel, one has to be at the airport at least 4 hours before your trip starts. Yes, because you have to be checked in. They check the weight of your suitcases to make sure for international travel, your suitcase has to be about 50 pounds or 23 kilograms or 50 pounds. So if you get to the airport and it's weighed by their machine, it's higher, there are certain fees you have to pay, and that can be frustrating. You see that people begin to repack their suitcases and it's troubling. So and that's one trouble too I had. I kept thinking about it throughout, you know, but I was lucky. I got someone who they have something that you can use now in weighing your suitcases at home. Very small machine. You just hang it on the handle of the suitcase. You raise it up. So we checked that and they were adequately okay. So that gave me some sort of hope and optimism. And when we got to the airport, they were still that same, you know. So I was thinking maybe I would have added more things, and so you're always on the safer side to not add more things, because when they weigh it and it's more than, you have to start readjusting, and some people at the end of the day send things back home or throw them away. So these are the things people need to be aware when you must travel internationally. So you're checked in, you go to the waiting, you go to TSA, which is how the US calls their own, where security people go through your baggage, your hand luggage, you know, and your personal bag or something. Certain things cannot be in your suitcase or small bag. If they find tubes of cream that are just larger or longer than this, they are thrown away and things like that. You can go with food in your bag or something, but they don't necessarily allow liquid items or drinks. I was talking with someone yesterday and the other time. The person was saying in this particular flight they threw away food, but I remember traveling to the US the second time. I carried food from Nigeria, which I couldn't even eat on the flight. This time coming back again, I carried food. I didn't finish eating. So food is allowed, but not drinks because you're not sure of what kind of liquid you're carrying. And then on the flight, you're given food, snacks, drinks, water, and things like that. And on the flight, it can really be funny. This time around, there was this drama. Somebody became sick. I think he was dozing, and the next thing the person is shouting, "Help me, somebody help me, somebody help me." We would have been there, somebody's dying. But thank God everything was put under control. I think BP was going high. I think it was the height thing. Maybe it's been a while the person traveled. So personally, I'm not really good with elevators and things. But somebody had asked me several years ago, so you can't fly. So what I do if I have to fly is just to be calm. I say, God, take control. Once I'm in the air, I'm just there. I'm not bothered about plane doing this or doing that, because if you keep stressing, you can hyperventilate, thinking that you're high up there in the sky. So just maintain, relax, feel comfortable among the people you are with. That way you're not thinking about what is going on in your mind. Just enjoy the flight. And sometimes some pilots can make it wonderful. Like the last time I was on Delta, the pilot, they joke around, they say things, they give you info about the trip. This is where we're at, we're cruising at this altitude. Those things can make it be fun, and you meet people on the aircraft, talk to people, friendships can begin from there. So you're there in the air, using the restroom, you can see people standing waiting for their turn and things like that. It can be really, really, really not suitable for certain people, but you just have to manage. 10 hours, 13 hours, you touch down, you go home, but it's stressful to travel. So when you're landed, you now start dragging mini suitcases and stuff like that, getting a vehicle, getting to your destination where you can rest a bit before you continue your trip. And one other thing, sleep. So your sleep pattern is disrupted, what we may call the circadian rhythm. Like for mine now, it's practically disrupted. So the US, the area I was at is 6 hours behind Nigerian time. So I'm trying to make up for this time difference. So if I manage to wake up by 10 a.m., it's by God's grace, because there it's still 6 a.m. and I'm not an early riser. So you grapple with that sleep pattern that has been disrupted, and it can take like a week or two to get back into the routine of sleep here. Those kinds of things. So that's the thing that goes into traveling. Some people have made videos and put on different social media platforms. You see people who are crying at the airport because they have missed their flights and things like that. And some people sit back who have never left their backyard. Why you cry? Why you cry? Because you miss your flight, because of this. Have you ever slept at an airport? You know what it means to sleep on something that is not a bed. Your body is cramped up, and that's what will happen if you miss your flight. You will sleep in a cramped position till the next day. You're not even sure your flight can be rescheduled. People sleep at airports for 2-3 days. So see that kind of thing. You're busy, you can't shower properly, even though some international airports have those facilities for you to shower at. Well, there's just no way you can do that better than you do it in the comfort zone. So that is stressful. You can't eat well. You're practically eating junk. Junk food is bad for the system. So as I'm here too, My system is trying to readjust to normal eating because in the past 3 days or so, all I've eaten is junk, not proper food. So when you begin to even eat proper cooked food, it takes a while for your system to readjust. So it's like you are an in-between person just after international travel. So it's serious business that people need to be aware of so they don't just talk when people say things. That shows how ignorant such people could be. Some people are like, oh, they can travel internationally, they have money, but it's not about the small money you have to purchase a ticket. It's about the hurdle that goes into travel internationally. It's not just about carrying one small suitcase and go. It's like you're jumping from one point to the other. Some people going to the US, they use some of these airlines and what do we even call them? These UAE airlines and things. I don't think I really fancy those ones. That's why I simply always go for airlines that come straight from the US to Lagos. Just a straight run. Because when you do all those stopovers, layovers and things, that gives more room for one's flight, for you to miss your flight and things like that. Because of the experience I've had, I prefer to just do a one straight way from the US to Nigeria instead of going to this place, doing this. It can afford some people the opportunity to see new places and sites, but I think for me, I prefer going straight. Whenever it's time for me to see different parts of the world, I will do that and get ready for the holiday because you're practically checking the time. It's not just about sitting there. They can change the gates, and stuff. You have to be up and going, asking questions, looking at the airport information system, and every 15 minutes you have to be doing that, otherwise you could miss your flight and things like that. And it's not child's play, really. Missing your flight and not having extra cash to purchase another ticket will be funny. Like the one that happened to me the first time I traveled in 2018. Missed the flight at Casablanca in Morocco, and those guys practically refused to put me on another plane. I cried actually, and then they had to buy a new ticket and send that. I didn't even have an Android phone. So imagine that kind of thing. You can't connect with people. You're not internet savvy. You don't even have data. So what do? You begin to depend on people you don't know. So at airports, people are prone to making friends and just chatting to get more information, seek help from one another and things like that. So it can be crazy as well as calming. You are able to open up yourself to strangers. So if you're someone who's like, oh, strangers, when you get into trouble, you're the one who will be calling for strangers' attention to help you, and that can easily happen when you're traveling international. I must tell you. So gear up your lines, get ready. Whenever it is you're ever gonna make an international trip, it's not about, oh, I'm traveling. You hang your bag, you pull your hand luggage, and you're going like this. When you miss your flight, you won't be walking like this. You will run and ask questions. You can even cry, so people will come to your aid. Anyways, just thought to share my little understanding about international travel. It's not child's play, it's serious business. So we can help you learn so many things. There are fun things too you can find at airports. The way air hostesses dress, the hostess, those guys and women, they're always looking like corporate people, the way they dress, and they're always serious minded going about, the way pilots carry themselves, well organized, articulating, and things like that. And these days, one thing I've noticed is that children are being trained to be travelers. So I was watching throughout, and trying to make some short videos. I noticed lots of children now have their own baggage. Their parents give them back. Children as young as 2 years, I saw them carrying their suitcases, rolling the suitcases by themselves. So that was something that gave me some joy. And I mean, for parents to be able to train children, it is very important. You also see many kinds of things, sick people who are traveling, they're being rolled in wheelchairs and things like that. At places like this, you connect with other human beings. That's another good thing about airports. Someone you don't know from nowhere, you are able, you are open to talk to the person, learn things from them. That's something about traveling, because in this life we are all on a journey. So that's what an airport affords you. Sometimes I just sit and watch human beings move around, not just judge or talk about them, but look at them and appreciate the human person once or all over again. So yeah, traveling affords us lots of opportunities to learn, to stress ourselves, but at the end of all the stress, we come out better human beings. So if you've never done international travel, you should try doing one of these days and see what I'm talking about. It's not just about carrying a bag and moving. Many things go into international travel. Many things. You're stressed out, you're eating junk, you're not sleeping well. Now you get on the aircraft, everyone's shaking and things like that. Some people have jet lag, some are even sick in the aircraft. Many of those things. If you never have been there, you will never know. So try it one of these days. Take a short international trip, or just browse and learn more apart from this short video that I've presented to you today. So once again, I'm back to base, to Nigeria as usual. Hopefully we shall go back to continue studies. But for now, I have touched down. Still not in my final destination. Hopefully in the next 2 days I shall be going to my next final destination. Okay. The person who stayed by to watch, thank you. Please do share the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll bring you more wonderful videos and stuff. It's a Saturday. I hope you're gonna take out time to enjoy your weekend. Don't let anything stop you from being you. Right? Okay. As you are being you, remember other human beings too. And stay connected while I go. Oh, 2 more people joined. When people join my video, it's difficult for me to shut down. It's like I want to be a good hostess, to host my viewers, but I'm still trying to recover from traveling. My eyes are still whoa. I'm eating food, but the food has not really settled in my stomach. I have loads and loads of things to unpack. Yeah, let me show you my suitcases. This is just my first stop, so I have to check out to my home. So I'm gonna be packing and packing and unpacking things. This is how I like to arrange my things when I travel. It's crazy, like for one to be carrying all these shoes alone. Well, some are gonna be mine, some will be for other people. So when we travel, we try to get gifts for people too. So these are the kind of suitcases. One person is carrying 7 suitcases. So you can imagine the stress. When the plane touches down, you have to go pick up, and then things are rolling. You're looking out for your suitcase. This time around, my suitcase came in before I came to that spot. They were packed somewhere. For almost 1 hour, I was waiting, on that stuff. What do we even call it? I keep forgetting. Before someone said, come and check here, there are some suitcases, and behold, all my 6 suitcases were there, and I had to wait for the hand luggage to come later. And then you pack it onto the trolley, you move before you get the vehicle. You know how this Lagos airport can be. It wasn't funny at all. Anyways, I need to go back and start recouping myself. All I've been doing is just to eat, sleep, make calls. So that's what happens in the very first 2-3 days after you return from an international trip. You need to sleep to cover up that broken circadian rhythm. You need to eat to clear up the junk that has been in your system. You need to call, to prepare for where you're gonna stay. It can be hectic. So you've touched down, but you're still arranging and arranging, and it will take you like 1 or 2 weeks to be settled. Before you know it again, you're jumping to travel. This life is just too burdensome. But what can we do? So that thing is called a conveyor belt that brings the suitcases. Each time I forget the name. You have to pay attention so you can pick up your suitcases and things like that. Attentiveness is one important trait you have to learn if you must travel, because many things happen. Those days that people will carry cocaine or things. You don't accept things from anybody when you're traveling international, because you don't know what is in the package you're being given. You don't stand somewhere, somebody say, hold this thing, do not hold. Not that you be disrespectful, but kindly or respectfully say, no, you cannot. Don't be too warm with people, even though you need to talk to strangers. Just be attentive, always be aware, ask questions. When you see workers in the airport, make sure I can ask 10 questions that I've already been given an answer, just to be sure. Keep inquiring, that way you're able to do your trip without troubles or much troubles, because there are always troubles when you travel international. Okay, alright, I need to go take another nap. I'm trying to sleep and rest my system. That's what travel can cost your system. It puts your system down, so you have to revive it again. And sleep is one way, taking enough water, eating well, resting your mind and just being calm. Okay, so I have to shut down at this point. Thank you, last viewer. God bless you. Hope you enjoy your weekend, and we shall see. Do not forget to share, comment, subscribe. Okay, bye. Joined. Hi, check out the video, okay?